if you do not have electricity as a business owner, if you do not have adequate, let's forget about the expensive one now. That's like a different conversation. Let it even be there. Let it even be available. Let's start with that one. An industry that is at the center of the growth of the economy. That's why we're talking about it. An industry that is the engine that powers the growth of Nigeria's economy. That's why we're talking about it. It plays a crucial role in our economic development. No matter the English we speak on talking figures and we haven't touched power or specifically electricity, we haven't actually driven it home. So yeah, I'm trying to drive it home today, or let's say we're trying to fly it home today by flying you to this industry. We're going to take a look at it today, especially at a time that it's been in the news that the distribution companies are looking to renew their license. Should they? I'm asking you now. Should licensees of the 11 distribution companies that we have in this country who bought and after it was unbundled 10 years ago, should it be renewed, or they should just hand it over back to government? What do you think? We're live on Facebook, yeah. We're also live on YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. So drop your comments there and we'll read them live. And I'll also tell you why it's even more important that we talk about this at this time. But we'll talk about that in a bit. And of course, I have a great guest joining me much later to break it all down for you. Someone that's been in the sector for quite a while. And he's seen it all happen. He's seen all of these distribution companies and what they've been up to. And more importantly, now that we're talking about handing out licenses or not, plus, of course, the law as we have it today. Where does that play a part and where does that leave us? And what can it mean for you as a business owner? Interesting conversation coming your way today. So yes, share your thoughts with me. Should licenses of these 11 distribution companies be renewed, or should they just hand back the discos to government? Of course, you know that's where we're coming from, right? Should we hand it all back to government again, or we should renew the license and watch them keep doing what they've been doing? I'm asking you that question, and you can also share your thoughts on X, that's former Twitter at Nigeria Info PH, and then you can also drop your messages on WhatsApp. Yes, you can drop a message on 0809 030 6416. Should we give them their licenses? Should we renew them? Because of course you've heard that these licenses have expired 31st of October actually. So we're talking renewal of licenses. The conversation has been on for a while, so I'm bringing it here on the show, and let's hear what you have to say as a business owner. Should we renew the licenses of discos, or should we just allow them? Let's just hand this back to government and let government do their thing. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a bit, but first it's time for Market Watch. So yes, before we go into the big stories before we go look at the big stories in business, rather, before we go into the big topic of the day, I'm starting with this one because I felt you all should know this. You all should just know this. I mean, when you're talking about the production of gas. So the NUPRC, that's the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, they just dropped a big announcement today, and they're talking about a possible partnership with Argentina in our gas game. Yep, Argentina is eyeing Nigeria for some gas exploration and production action. Now, how NUPRC dropped this on X, that's a former Twitter, and they said Argentina is actually keen on doing business in Nigeria, especially in the oil and gas sector. You know, it's like they are pulling in more investments, and that's a win for the NUPRC, right? But is that a win for you as a business owner? My answer is yes, it is a win for you. And because when countries like Argentina show interest in teaming up for gas exploration, it means more investments could be flowing into Nigeria, and that's like more fuel in the economic game, more fuel in the economic engine of our economy, of Nigeria. And then when you talk about partnership, that could mean new business, right? And new business opportunities specifically. and even on the international ground. So building connections with countries like Argentina could lead to more collaborations and global business vibes, and that's a good thing for you as a business owner. And of course, if things go as planned, we might be looking at a possible gas boom, I guess. I mean, we've talked about this on the show before now, what's happening when it comes to gas production. So more exploration and production mean more resources, and that can have a positive ripple effect on various industries. I mean, I just talked about our conversation today. We're not exploring the alternative sources of energy, but of course, this is a big one for us at a time that we're also talking about removal of subsidy and what it's done to us and it's done to our economy. So this is good news, and I hope you like that I started with the good news. So business owners, this could be a sign of exciting news, rather exciting times ahead. So keep your antennas up. Stay tuned to updates, and who knows, your business might catch a wave in the new gas exploration partnership. Okay, now I start with good news because there's something I need you to be aware of, especially if you shop online or you have an online shop. All right, so if you're in the e-commerce business, this will interest you. So come close. Especially because we have the Black Friday coming up very soon. There's this fraud watchdog called Netcraft. They've come up to say that there's a rising increase in fake online stores. Yeah, they said that, and because in October, by the end of October specifically, 135% increase was seen. Fake online stores increased by over 135%. Now, why does this matter for you as a business owner? It matters because with Black Friday, I hear there's even what they call Cyber Monday now. So with Black Friday and Cyber Monday around the corner, people are going to be looking out for deals, and people are going to be hoping, okay, to catch on the cheapest deals and the best deals. Eyeing sweet discounts and looking out for luxury brands website to sell. So imagine going on those websites and you're trying to buy, and then it's fake. It won't be nice at all, because these guys are not just putting up a unique website, they are even replicating these luxury brand websites, and that's very, very disturbing. So as a business owner, or you own an online store, online seller, trust is your secret sauce. So these scams mess with that trust, and you are not supposed to allow it. So first, remind your customers to double check URLs and be courteous, especially during these mega shopping events. Yeah, you need to put up something on your website or your social media, reminding them to be mindful. Just keep them alert. Highlight the security of your online transactions. Reassure them that it is safe. Let your customers know you've got their back with top-notch protection. Come to your online store and feel safe, not like something is fishy, okay? And I think for you to do that, let me tap into my content marketing life now. For you to do that, try not to use overly perfect pictures, to put out your brand. Try to make it as natural as possible, okay? Let's keep it as natural as possible. Even if possible, show your face while you're holding this thing, okay? Don't show Oyibo, just let it be real. Don't make it a very overly perfect picture. That's a tip from me there. So teach your customers how to spot the signs of a fake online store. Let them know this is a fake online store. This is how to know a fake online store. Once you see this, just like I told you now, most times they have these very perfect photos, because some of them use what do you call it now? Stock photos. I don't know if you know what they call stock photos. Stock photos are photos that you can easily access online. So some of these fake websites, they actually do not use real photos. Of course, when you look at it, first of all, they will have, you will know when you see them, actually. But some people who do not know, that's why I'm saying it. So dodgy websites, weird payment methods, yeah, that's how to know fake online stores. Avoid them. The more aware your customers are, the safer their online shopping experience, and the likely for them to get back to your online store. So business owners, stay vigilant, keep your customers informed. Let's make sure these cyber tricksters don't mess with our shopping shopping life and online shopping vibes. Now let's dive into the final story for today, and that's talking about smartphones. I don't know when last did you change your smartphone? Of course, let me not say what I wanted to say now. I don't know when last you changed your smartphone, but somehow you contributed to this data. Anyways, the world of smartphones. In the world of smartphones, is going up when you look at the market, the global market for smartphones. There's been a rise. A rise has been spotted according to this Counterpoint research. They said the global smartphone market increased by 5% in October. So that means more people are getting iPhones, and that's a good thing, because for the past 27 months we haven't seen that. So this is like a breath of fresh air in that market. So if you sell a smartphone, should I say congratulations to you? Yeah, I'm happy for you. So that means there's a major market bounce back coming your way. So if your business involves smartphones or tech, this is a green light. That means people are picking up phones again. And that means more potential customers in the game. Good for you. So yeah, Africa, Middle East, India, China are leading this whole rise that is seen in the global market, the global smartphone market. So if your business has an eye, you should be, rearranging your strategy, because you know that people are now ready to spend more money, when it comes to buying and replacing their smartphones. So yeah, that the iPhone 15 had a lot to do with that increase. As it came out, a lot of people went to dive in to get it. Okay, and that's a good thing. All right. So if your business is in the smartphone game, it's time to pack up. The market is showing signs of life again. So reposition, go and repaint your stores if you need to do that, and dash out to China if you have to, and get ready for a harvest, so to speak. And that's it on Market Watch today. I hope I've been helpful. And now it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, talking about the Nigeria's power sector, where I'm asking you, should licenses of the 11 discos be renewed or handed back to government? That question is very legit, and I have my guest already here. I'll be introducing him. I'm really excited to have him here today, joining me, and I'm talking Comrade Innocent Lord Douglas, the Deputy Secretary, Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies, South-Southeast Zone. Hello. Good afternoon, Comrade.
Good afternoon, Fiona. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I am excited to be having you. So now, I know you have a lot to say when it comes to electricity, the power sector, the electricity sector. But let's narrow it down, because we know that a lot has happened, right? In the past 10 years since the unbundling happened, a lot has happened as well. So, of course, we all know that the power sector, we have the electricity generation, we have the transmission, and then the distribution segment. And so in November 2013, the sector was unbundled into these three segments, and those 11 distribution companies were created and privatized, and they got licenses. And ever since then, even though we've had lots of customer complaints, they've also had theirs. Okay, a lot of them will tell you that what they've seen so far is not what they bargained for, but the reality has been there for them. In fact, the Minister of Power even recently came, and I quote, said, "I mentioned in my speech that most countries do not privatize their electricity supply value chain from generation to transmission to distribution. But bad enough, we have done this. How can we work around the current status to achieve our priorities and objectives?" The minister also said that operators have failed to achieve its set out objectives. Okay, that's the distribution companies now. He also said that they have not met expectations. So the question is, should licenses be given to these people again? Or should we be tilting where the minister is to? The minister thinks that there should be a government takeover. Do you agree with this? That's where I'm starting the conversation. When I get back from this break, of course, you can join the conversation. The Phone lines will be open at some point, but for now, you can drop your messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH, and then you can drop your comments there, and then on WhatsApp as well, you can drop your comments 0809 030 6416. Okay, should licenses of the 11 discos be renewed, or should we allow the government to take back all of them and fix these things themselves? We'll get to hear from our guest after this break, so stay tuned. I'll start with our guest, and then we'll get to your messages at some point. The phone lines will be opened. This is Talking Figures. All right, my name is Choma Izomafo. I will be right back. Talking Figures on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Choma Izewafo, and now we get right into it. Yes, I'm asking, should licenses of the 11 distribution companies known as DISCOs be renewed or handed back to government? I told you before I went on this break that I have a guest with me. Comrade Innocent Lord Douglas is here. He's the Deputy General Secretary, Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Company, South East Zone. And don't forget, we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. So drop your comments there. I won't read them live. You can also share your thoughts on X, that's former Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. And the WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Hello, comrade. Good afternoon again. Thank you for staying tuned.
Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon. Thank you, Chama.
Okay, so I'm just going to start with this renewal. Where are we with it? I understand that it was supposed to be October 31, but some other reports said something different. So where are we with the renewal of the licenses for the 11 discos at the moment?
Well, with the information I have, I think that Nigeria should not expect a review or a renewal of this license until 2028. But I think as a union, we are not surprised with what we are seeing. When Obasanjo was the first person to mute the idea of privatizing the power sector. As a union, we fought that government to rescind their idea. It translated to Yar'Adua government until finally Jonathan came and used the executive powers and got power sector privatized. Within the period, we went around the country and the world and informed government that there is nowhere in the world that the power sector is privatized. Those that had it reversed to the normal status quo. But the government proved a dead here. And this is where we are. Where we are is that the power sector in Nigeria is being privatized, producing a level discourse. And the idea that is sold to consumers, to Nigerian public, was that what happened in the telecommunication is exactly what is going to happen in the power sector. Unfortunately, so many people bought to that idea. And the union, at the time, was seen as those that are hampering the progress of the country. There is no way the power sector is going to work like the telecommunication sector. Firstly, the unbundling of the power sector or creating of the discourse did not give any other player to play in this industry. For instance, EEDC is in charge of the whole East, from Imo State to Ebonyi State. What is the possibility that what is happening in the telecommunication sector is going to happen in the power sector when one company is in charge of the whole East? Now, for the section, the information we got, the information was given to Nigerian Waters is going to be reviewed every 5 years. And the first 5 years, that is 2018. And with the information we are having now, it's still the past administration reviewed this privatization process and gave an upward license of 10 years. Meaning that from 2013 to 2018 was first 5 years, which it was reviewed, though it was seen as a fitting process. No license was taken from anybody, as the discourse line that they were still mastering the environment. But from 2018 to 2013, there's another 5 years. But with latest information, it means that we are going to expect another review in 2028. But our issue is, what review are we expecting? Who are the next person peradventure that will be given the license? I did not see the politicians that are giving this. The problem we have with government then, we try to ask what is the capacity, the technical know-how of these people that are coming with licenses. I mean, of the discourse, as many Nigerians will agree with me, went to these white companies and brought technicians and showcased to Nigerians that they are expatriates, that they have the technical ability to sustain the disco. And with so many people in white color in all the discos, as administrators, as technical executives, and so on. Unfortunately, it happens to be the more you look, the less you see.
But what do you think about, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
What do you make of this federal government's plan to review the 5-year extension of these licenses? Because that appears to have happened now. It was supposed to be expiring this year, but if we're moving into 2028, that means the 5-year extension of this license is in play, is at play already. What do you make of that plan to review the 5-year extension?
That's what I'm saying. Ordinarily, the review ought to be in 5 years' time, meaning that it would have been done, it would have been 20 October, where we are. And who are they going to give to? Because we with our permutation, it seems the past administration has expanded the review period from 5 years to 10 years, making it difficult for any administration to review 5 years time. So we have to live with it. We have to live with this epileptic power. We have to live with this sleeping in darkness until 2018. That's where we are. 2028. Sorry to say that. That's where we are now. Yes. So ordinarily it would have been 2023, 2018, and 2028. But we're now going to expect it in 2028.
Okay.
But again, what are the performance improvement plans? If the government is to appraise the capacity, the workability of these schools, what are they appraising? What are they evaluating? With the input, with my being a player, the union is a critical stakeholder in this industry. What we have seen over the years is that what has made the appraisal of this school is how much revenue have you collected from a month to the other month. For instance, the appraisal is how much revenue accrued to the disco 2028 and 2029. And the moment the revenue gets higher, the more the power is taken upward. We have suggested a performance improvement plan indices should not be on revenue. And that is why we are failing.
Okay, where should it be?
Not performing.
Where should it be instead?
It should be on where have the discos taken supply to. Let me do a little comparison between NEPA and the disco that we have at present.
Yes, I was going to ask you that.
During the time of NEPA, it was the responsibility of government to take supply, that is any power, to all the nooks and crannies. There's virtually a community that does not have power because it was the time of government only, and the government owned and sponsored. There was activeness in the rural electrification sector of the government. I'm not sure that rural electrification department still work now. Rather, what we are seeing in this era of disco is where communities are being shut up because they cannot pay the accrued revenue. In our own... Hello?
Go on, we can hear you. Go on.
Good. In the union perspective, the performance improvement plan, whatever PIP, should be how many regions, how many communities have you given supply within the 5 years of your existence, within the 10 years of your existence? How many customers have you been able to meter? Because people are not metered. And that issue of meter has never existed. In the time of NEPA, we had meter everywhere. All the houses were metered, and the meters were being read, and people pay according to their consumption. If you don't have power, the moment there is supply, you know that your meter will take your consumption, and the people that are reading the meter will come and tell you exactly. And if apart from them, the staff coming to it, you know what your consumption rate is. You calculate it. But now, how many consumers have meter? So, the privatization is worse. It is faulty. It is not meeting the yearning of the Nigerian people. It is not meeting the real reason why it was privatized. It was privatized to bring supply to the homes of everybody. It was privatized so that even the small and medium scale industry will have the leverage. Unfortunately, people are still migrating to the urban city. And the reason is because they cannot even have a little supply in their area. A situation where somebody is living from a because the person just want to buy ice block. That is a very sorry situation that we have found ourselves.
Now, should these licenses be renewed, or should you think the government should take over at this time? Before you answer that question, let me just walk us through that. We still have other aspects of the in this value chain, apart from the distribution. We still see a whole lot of government control in these other aspects. The generation aspect, we still find the government owning a lot of the assets. And then apart from generation, we also have they have stakes in the distribution, by the way. And when you break it down, you see that the government, if you look at what they are doing with the ones they still have control of, do you really think that we should, like you said, the renewal is faulty? I'm sorry, the privatization is faulty. So should we, because it's faulty, hand it over back to government, considering that the government is actually not doing much with the ones they're already controlling?
But if you go to the TCN, Transmission Company of Nigeria, which is one of the ones government is fully in charge of, you will see that the problem we are having in TCN is actually because the schools cannot take energy. They reject energy. The TCN has the capacity as it stands to wheel out as much energy as they have from the generation company.
Who should be investing in infrastructure now? Sorry, let's look at it. You think discos that are complaining that they do not have, they've not been able to, what's that word now? Let me use the word, collect the money from the consumers. Where can they get the money? I mean, where they do not have the money to be able to set up the infrastructure needed to collect what the generations companies are ready to supply. What do you think?
Few discos can collect their money because the monies are estimated.
But not all of them. I mean, we have the prepaid meters working at least last time I checked, it's better than it was last year and 2 years back. The issue of prepaid meters.
Discos are having issue collecting revenue in the houses that they are not prepaid meters. Prepaid meters run on its own. Apart from the other activity of people trying to bypass the meter and all that. If prepaid meter is allowed to run and is given to all the houses, nobody will come to your house to come and check if you are paid bill or not.
That's what I'm saying. So if we have more homes now with these prepaid meters, there was even a project by the presidency, I think that was during the past administration, where they brought in prepaid meters, and so I know that a lot of people now have these prepaid meters. So do you think that they still have the challenge they had like 2-3 years ago collecting their revenue as they have now?
Because I may even accuse discos of frustrating that effort of metering the whole houses. Okay. Because the moment the whole houses have been metered, the amount the discos are making on estimated billing will not come to them. And there will be efficiency in supply. Why there is no efficiency in supply is because whether you have light or not, you will be paid on estimation. But there will be discipline if all houses are being metered. You will know how much you owe. You will know how much, and the disco will estimate how much revenue they are going to get. Because people, you are going to wheel out more energy, and people are going to buy more energy. It's as simple as that. The DCN are having issues because they have so much energy to give. But the discos are not getting more. They are not taking more energy. They are rejecting the energy. And because the discos are rejecting the energy, the DCN has energy that are being wasted. Generation is generating to the capacity that the DCN are giving. But the discos are not. Of course, you should know that the primary objective of any businessman or woman
is to make profit.
They have to make profit. That's the primary objective. But this profit shouldn't be at the expense of the consumers. So, if the prepaid meter is being given to all the consumers, the revenue of the disco will also be ascertained, and it will not be as bogus as it is. At that point, we are going to be driving towards if opportunity is given to take up license from the discos, if it will be a welcome idea, I think it would be a welcome idea.
You think the government should take over?
Hello?
You think the government should take over?
Yes, we have advocated for that, and we're still advocating for that.
Really?
We're advocating for that, that government should take over. If there is any opportunity that government should take over, because what we bargain for is not what we are seeing. It's quite unfortunate that at this age at time, we have so many communities that, now let me tell you, let me bring it closer home. I'm from Emoha local government. That's my home. That's where I come from.
Yeah, they have serious power issues in Emoha. Have done reports
now we don't have. For over 3 years now, there is no power in Emoha local government. And though the disco will tell you on vandalization, but we also have a government there that's supposed to care for the people that they are governing. But let me tell you, assuming it is under the control of federal government or even state government, they will do everything possible to make sure that that security issue is being boycotted. Of course, the disco is not in charge of security. So, and it's also a blessing if light is not going there. This energy will be concentrated to the companies that are paying. It will be given to those that are on the right line that will pay more. They will channel that energy that will go to the community that will pay less. So the people that are going to get more.
Okay.
Let me ask one question, or let me bring your attention. You know that this thing is divided in banks. You have bank A, B, C, D. I may not know the bank that you are, where you are. But I bet to let you know that the supply is not as adequate as the bank that you are supposed to be getting. If bank A is supposed to mean that you're supposed to have a minimum of 18 hours stability in your area. But where in this whole country, apart from those companies or areas that have a dedicated line, and those that have a dedicated line pay more tariff than the one that they are giving to other persons. So all these things are geared towards making money. People can decide to keep people on darkness just to make sure that their money is being gotten.
Okay.
When you have people on dedicated line, you
All right,
give them like
comrade.
24 hours. But you have people that are also supposed to benefit this life that are paying the bills are not having the life and they are being billed.
Interesting. Now, let's go to the phone line 0817-923-0002. And then you can also call 0817-923-0003. The question is very simple. Should these licenses of the distribution companies be renewed? I mean, we are all consumers of electricity. All of us, everyone. Somehow, as I'm here right now in the studio, so many lines are blinking, green, red. It's all electricity that's made it possible. So, I have my opinion. Our guest, the comrade, he's also explained his opinion about this, and he thinks that the government should take over electricity distribution in Nigeria. Do you agree with this? Or do you think that at this time there should be a renewal of the licenses of these distribution companies? The phone lines are open 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0009. Yes, you can also drop your messages on WhatsApp 0800-809-030-6416. That's the number to drop your messages if you should share your thoughts with me. What you think? Do you think that we should allow the government to take over? I'm actually very surprised because in this very studio about 10 years ago, the conversation of whether we should privatize this sector, privatize that sector. And now that's happened for the power sector. And 10 years after, we're having a conversation again. And then we are saying, hand it over back to government. Let the government take over. Let the government take over. But can they really take over? We're going to get to that in a bit. But first, I'm taking your calls now. And while I wait for those calls to come in, let me get to WhatsApp. I have a message here on WhatsApp. Nestle from Port Harcourt. He says, presenter, I suggest that the renewal of the licensees of power distribution companies, because many of them don't have the capacity to handle power issues. That's Nestle from PHC. I think he's trying to say that there shouldn't be a renewal. Okay, I think that's what he's trying to say, because they do not have the capacity to handle. Yes. He says your guest is not sincere in his comparison with NEPA. People pay what they consume, not in the days of NEPA when people are forced to pay what they never used. That's still from Nestle from PHC. Thank you for your message, Nestle. Yes, 0817-923-0002. That's the number you can call. You can also call 0817-923-0003. Should the licenses of discos be renewed, or should the government take over? The guest here says, yes, the government should take over. We've had quite enough of the ineffectiveness of the distribution companies. And they say, yes, we've had enough of the inefficiency. So many, a lot has gone wrong, and consumer complaints are not even attended to anymore. People have a lot of complaints when it comes to power supply. And for businesses, I don't know whether I would like to hear from you if you run a business. What's it been like for you? So should the licenses be renewed? Should they renew it, or should the government just take over this sector once again? I don't know for you, but let's look at that possibility of a takeover. Is it even possible when you think about the Electricity Act? I understand that there's a process. The NERC, for instance, is the one that is regulating the distribution and giving out these licenses. Okay, we'll have a call coming through, and then I'll take this call, and then I'll get back to you, comrade. Hello, good afternoon.
Comrade Mike, I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Okay. Should the licenses of distribution companies be renewed, or should the government?
Not particularly to some few maybe companies that the government should take it back. That is my submission. Thank you. I get my DJS in the studio.
Okay. Thank you for your thoughts there. Now I come back to you, comrade. Comrade, did you hear the caller?
Yes, I quite clear.
Okay.
If the contract should be reviewed, who will they give it to? Until we'll see plunge us into where we are. We'll see take us back to where we are. We'll even be worse off. But again, let me bring this to your notice. There's what they call Electricity Power Sector Reform Act, which has also brought power closer to the community, to the state, where the state will be an active participant in the running of this power sector. Government taking it back may not entirely be that is going back to become an authority as it used to be. This act has given the state power to generate, transmit, and what? Distribute. If states comply to this idea, we have been waiting to see a state. It's only a Delta and that said that yes, we are coming to recapitalize our shares. We are waiting to see when it will come down to the list of all the states to take this as a responsibility and take over part of this for this electricity sector. That, I think, it will be more a solution to the general public.
Okay. Now we've asked before, can the government take over? I'm asking now. Sorry, we've asked before, should the government take over? Now the question is, can the government take over? With the laws at hand, can the government take over? That will be your final thoughts.
Are you into business and sales, or offer any sort of service? Looking
on the possibility of that takeover if the government is being asked to take over? Where's the possibility? Your final thoughts as we wrap up, comrade.
It is very possible for government to take over. It is a legislative issue, and it can be legislated upon. There is nothing wrong. There is no difficulty in government taking over. And I think the Nigerian community will enjoy and will be here. Take over this discourse. Other than that, it will remain a political patronage. And we may not expect anything more than what we are seeing now.
Interesting. Thank you for your thoughts there, comrade, for sharing so much insights shared here, comrade Innocent Lord Douglas. Thank you for your time, and do have a wonderful time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's the Deputy General Secretary, Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies, Southeast Zone. Of course, you know the power sector. When we're talking about it, there's so much to unbundle when it comes to the electricity supply we have or do not have in Nigeria. More importantly, how it affects you as a business owner. So here is our take. Here is my take. I believe that if there is an initiative that allows DISCOs to get more funds so that they can have the infrastructure to take on the supply that generating companies are making available, will fix this to a very large extent. And I do not think that government takeover is going to solve the problem. If you want to know, take a look at the ones that they're already in charge of. How well are they doing with the generating and the others the other assets that the government is still in control of? That question I'll leave you to look out for yourself. And that's Talking Figures for today. And thank you for your messages, your calls. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. We try to make it less with so many jargons. Of course, that sector can have a lot of English, but I hope I helped for us to have it and make it very relatable for you. So I'm Choma Izewa, and up next is Rivers Today. That's the news, Rivers Today, and then Hard Facts with Kalada afterwards, and then you're going to have a wonderful time on Hard Facts today. So stay tuned, and the news now.